We are recording. We are live. Welcome to Friday, May 18th.
Yes.
For Dvtv Live for today.
Yes.
And look, we have Israel back. Finally, he's been out of pocket for a while. Thank God he's back, and you can see actually us and not part of my shoulder there. So we got a lot to talk about today, don't we?
Yes, and I'm kind of in summer mode because it's getting really hot.
It is hot.
So this is like one of the first tank top days for me.
Oh, yeah.
And did you notice my shoulders? They're like all peeling.
Uh-huh.
Because
Yeah.
I got back from a yoga camp and it was amazing and my shoulders burned.
You should wear some sunscreen.
I forgot.
Well, you're going to have the skin cancer.
I forgot. Yes.
So, got to take care. So, but you're back. We're
Yes.
back. We got a lot of things to talk about today. First thing I want to tell you about is a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Important fundraising kind of things. I don't know, can you see the cover here? Is it showing up there?
Yes.
Okay. There we go. The cover story this week is for AIDS Outreach Center in Fort Worth. Their Evening of Hope Gala is tomorrow night at the Hilton Fort Worth. If you go to their website, I'm assuming you can probably still get a ticket. I think it's like $70. No, it's not. It's like $200.
Wow.
It's formal dinner kind of thing. There's going to be entertainment. They're going to be giving out some awards. Carol West is going to receive an award and will be the keynote speaker. And Samaritan House in Fort Worth. Are you familiar with them?
I'm not.
It started out as housing for people with HIV/AIDS. Now it's kind of expanded. People with HIV/AIDS and other terminal or chronic illnesses who are at risk of being homeless.
Okay.
And that's housing services for them. They're getting an award, a community service award. They're going to have some other speakers. A group from Turtle Creek Chorale will be there to sing, and there'll be a live band for music and dancing. And you see in the photo, there's the mask, and that's kind of a theme for their event, is you're unmasking the stigma around HIV and AIDS. So that's always a good cause to help out there in Fort Worth. There's a lot of other things that are coming out with the AIDS Outreach Center that we're going to be talking about in the weeks to come. They are working on a new transgender health and wellness program, which will include HRT therapy,
That's really
or
good.
HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy. Some other things. They have some new support groups. As you know, especially among young gay and bisexual men of color, the HIV infection rate is increasing again because we've gotten slack. We've slacked off, and so they have some support groups and some education efforts that are aimed at.
Now, why do you think that is? That it's like growing again?
Among young people,
Yeah.
I think you and I've talked about this before, that the younger guys, especially younger gay men, first of all, when you're young, you're 10 feet tall and bulletproof. You're going to live forever, ever. Nothing's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
But they didn't live through it like we did. They don't have those memories that we have from the 80s and the 90s of, every time you turned around, someone was dying of AIDS.
Right.
And AIDS has become not a terminal illness, but a chronic illness in many people's minds. And, I just have to take a pill and I'm fine. And
Right.
they don't understand.
So you think it's like lack of education that they think,
I think so.
Even if I get it, I'll be okay because...
I think so. I
Got
think
it.
that's part of it. I think
Okay.
that's part of it. And I think some of them just are not getting the information they need. I mean, we as a community maybe are not doing as good a job as we once did
Got it.
in terms of education and prevention.
Hmm.
So, but AIDS Outreach Center in Fort Worth in Tarrant County, that's one of their programs, one of their missions is to spread that information, prevention and education stuff. So
Got it. Okay.
it's a good organization to support. So also,
Yes.
tomorrow night here in Dallas, right down the road from our house at the Empire Room, Dallas Red Foundation is having a party. It's called Red Dragon, the Forbidden City.
So that's tomorrow?
That is tomorrow night. It is at the Empire Room. Let me get the exact. It's at the Empire Room, 1225 North Riverfront Boulevard, Tickets are $45 to $125, and you find the agenda either in the paper or online, and there's a website you can go
Nice.
to check
Nice.
that out and get some tickets. They are also a charitable organization. They raise money for other organizations that provide services. So yet another important thing to promote
Gotcha.
and support. So
And if those of you who are watching and you see me constantly on this phone, it's not because I'm on Grindr or I'm
Sure it
goofing
is.
off. We're actually controlling this through Nevo, and so anytime the camera changes, I'm doing it on the phone. So I'm sort of producing and directing through this app.
Switching.
Yeah, switching through this app.
And yes, and he's much better at it than I am. I'm like, wide angle, leave that bitch be.
Yeah.
So, there's a bunch of other stuff going on today at from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Daniel Padilla Gallery. HRC is having HRC Federal Club having a happy hour tonight. I'm sorry, I'm old. I can't see. 5:30 to 7 p.m. at the Resource Center is a meet and greet with Lupe Valdez, who,
Ooh, would love her.
yes, we do, and we can all hope, she's going to be our next governor. That would be an amazing thing. So you can
That's
meet.
right, she's going for governor.
Yes, the 22nd, let's see, 21, the next Tuesday, I think, is the 22nd. That's runoff day election between her and Andrew White.
Okay.
They are the top two in the primary, so. Evening of Hope, we talked about that. Gay Bingo is tomorrow night at S4, Marvel versus DC, so
Oh.
superhero, I guess.
Nice.
Um,
Is it bad that I'm really happy that all of these events are going on, but I'm not planning on attending any of them this weekend?
Not me either. I have to. It's my son. Let me say this really quickly. Tomorrow, May 19th, my younger son's birthday. Happy birthday to Jacob. It's also one of my best friend's birthdays, so happy birthday to Cassie. Not Cassie Nova.
Not Cassie Nova.
Cassie Quinn. Happy birthday, Cassie Quinn. And on the 21st, which will be Monday, is my niece's birthday. So I want to
Oh.
tell y'all all happy birthday.
Nice. So
So-
you're going like to all those parties and
Well,
stuff?
well, we when and it's Scarborough Fair. Sandra dances tomorrow at Scarborough Fair, so I'll be there all day, and then we'll do dinner, and then there's all kinds of things.
She just texted you, by the way.
Which one?
Sandra.
Oh, hi, hon. Well, I can't answer. I'm on the TV. But there are a lot of other things going on throughout the week. Here's an interesting one that I want to bring out especially. Next Tuesday, May 22nd, it's called Gay Not Pray. And it's a kind of a panel discussion, town hall meeting, and community discussion about predatory sexual violence aimed at gay men, same gender loving men, and I think they are specifically thinking of older gay men who feel like, they have their options may be limited, and so
Mhm.
they might take more risks in
With.
terms of finding a date, an app or,
Mm-hmm.
picking up
I don't know
a
what
used
they're
car,
talking
rough
about.
trade. I know. But it's about being safe. It's about being sex positive and being safe.
Mm-hmm.
And not safe sex in terms of STIs, but just
being
physical
safe.
safety.
Yeah.
So
Huh. Now
Yeah.
what is that? That one actually
That's-
sounds.
that's Gay Not Pray. It's Tuesday at the Resource Center, 7 to 9 p.m.
What
Will
does
call.
the title mean? Gay Not Pray. P-R-E-Y.
Not pray as in this, pray to God.
Community discussion
Pray.
about predatory sexual violence moderated by. Okay. Predatory sexual violence.
Yes.
Huh. Interesting.
Back in the day, there were people who literally preyed on gay men, who, especially closeted gay men,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like they're not gonna tell anybody what they were doing to get beat up or killed or whatever, So, and that's still an element. There are people that come after gay men who are looking for companionship.
Yeah. So I guess what they're saying with this get together, this gathering, is to, like, if you are, no matter where you're looking for a relationship or sex or whatever, sort of like the safety precautions you might
Yeah.
need to take or might want to take. Okay.
Pay attention. Yeah.
See,
pay
that
attention.
that sounds like something I would want to attend, only because I'm extremely careful and, where's some wood
Here.
that I can knock on? And I haven't had anything extremely crazy happen to me,
Mhm.
and it's because of all of the precautions that I take. that are all done before you even go and meet with the person.
Exactly.
The questions you ask, the things you
Exactly.
request, the type of conversation you're having, all of that matters.
Yeah. Think about it this way: if you went on Craigslist or
Well, you can't anymore.
I don't mean for sex. I mean you went on there to buy a cell phone.
Yeah.
Or to sell a cell phone. Or what
Sell
is
a
it?
ring or something.
Yeah, anything that some online app or website, and you're going to go meet somebody, you're going to take precautions because you know bad things can happen.
Yes.
Use your common sense. If you're looking for a date, if it's something you're buying or selling that's whatever it is, pay attention. And like you said, there are things to do before you ever step out that door. So.
Oh yeah, because there's some crazies out there.
There are a lot of crazies out there, which and I don't know details because I didn't sit down and read the email when it came through very carefully. But Dallas police are establishing what they call safe zones, places that are specifically for people who are buying and selling through an app or online to go where you can make whatever exchange you're making safely.
I have to say, I lived in San Francisco for a few years, and my boyfriend at the time and I, we were both selling our iPhones, and we posted it on Craigslist. A female responded and answered our ad. When she arrived at our place, she texted me and she said, "I'm parked. Where do I go?" And I said, "Oh, we're over here." And I was just going to meet her out on the sidewalk because I thought, she's this little petite 22-year-old girl with glasses, looks like a Asian librarian, very sweet. And she was like, "Oh, yeah, it's a little chilly. Can we just go inside?" And I was like, "Sure." Now, we were gay men. We weren't going to do anything to her, but I thought, why are you just volunteering to come into our place? What if we weren't selling our phones? What if we were going to try to do something terrible to you? You're making it so easy for us. And I was so surprised by that.
But think about it from the other side. She might look like a sweet little 22-year-old librarian, but God knows what she's got tucked in that purse.
That's true. That's true.
She comes in your house and all your shit is gone.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah.
So, it's whichever side of the equation you're looking at, you got to be careful. You got to be really careful. So that's you know what? I'm going to blog about that on DallasVoice.com in first of next week about the safe space, and just because I know a lot of people buy and sell things online. So,
right.
And that's one thing to do.
Nice.
A couple of other things that's kind of in the calendar. We talked about this. There's a story about the Vet Center, which has a special program to help LGBT military veterans. That's in the paper. David wrote that. You can get it. You need to read the interview with Michael Doman. He's the executive director of Dallas Tavern Guild. He has announced his retirement.
Oh.
He says he's like Elton John. He's on his 2-year farewell tour.
Yeah.
So he's planning it out. He'll be here till Pride next year is over. 2019 is done. He'll be marking about 20 years with the Tavern Guild then, and that gives them plenty of time to get Pride done for this year, to find the proper replacement and train that person, and get Pride next year done.
So to have him replaced, what are some of the duties of that person? Do you know?
Sure. I think as executive director of the Tavern Guild. Tavern Guild is a nonprofit organization. It's a membership organization for bar owners, primarily those that own bars catering to LGBT people here in Dallas. And that is the organization that does our Pride celebration every fall.
Okay.
So you're in charge. That person would be in charge. The main person in charge of organizing the parade, or the festival in Lee Park, which has now changed to a different day and is, as big a deal as the parade.
Yeah.
It's a music festival in the park, and it's at Rivershawn instead of Lee. So that's huge, and they can spend 10 to 11 months out of the year are focused on that.
Gotcha.
Which also, any of the other Pride events, Voice of Pride, that comes under this person.
Got it. So he's pretty much running all of that.
All of Pride is that person will be overseeing all of Pride.
Gotcha.
Plus, Tavern Guild has day-to-day business and monthly meetings, and the director has to manage all of those things.
Has he given a reason why he's leaving?
He has. He wants to. He is getting on up there in years, and he does not want to sit. He does not want to stay here and work till he drops dead at a desk.
Good reason.
And by going to Puerto Vallarta, it'll cost him maybe a quarter of what it cost him to live here. He said that.
Oh, he's gonna move there.
Yeah, he's going to live in Puerto Vallarta. He said, they have socialized medicine. He's already gotten with a doctor down there and talked about the medications he has and whatever, medical situations he will be dealing with. So that, he's already talked about that. He's got that set. Then there's just the cost of living is tremendous. He said, he has a two-bedroom condo here, and $800 to $1,200 in an affordable area of Dallas. He can get a comparable apartment, same thing in Puerto Vallarta, near, I think it's called the Romantica district, the gay district there. Same thing for under 200, he said.
Wow.
I know.
I'd go there too.
Look, we might all retire early, right?
Yeah.
Right, Liam? That's right. You go to Puerto Vallarta and live cheap. But, plus there's there are a lot of former Texans, former Dallasites that are down there either for vacation all the time or who live there, who own property for whatever reason. So.
Nice.
And, he said he'll be able to walk to most everything he wants to do.
Yeah.
Just, he's already started writing 3 books.
Oh, wow.
And he's going to finish at least one of them.
Yeah, so all his creative energy is coming back. His creative juices are starting to flow.
And he says there is an LGBT-focused theater group there, similar to Uptown Players. He hopes to be able to do some stuff with them.
Nice. Oh my gosh, that sounds like a really great place to be at, where he has so many options. Yeah,
knows where
good for him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really. Tomorrow night, Silver Pride prom. It's for older LGBT people. It's downtown at, that's not it, the J. Eric Johnson Library downtown, the public library. They're going to have a prom there. They'll be dancing. And one of the things, was a lesbian couple from Tyler. Girl is a senior at one school, and her girlfriend is a year or two younger, goes to a different school. They've been dating a couple of years. They've been a couple for a while, and their school will not let them go. The seniors' school will not let them go to prom together. And no lesbian couples at the prom. So Silver Pride has invited them, is bringing them to Dallas with their mothers.
Good.
Are coming with them so that they can have a prom experience together.
Isn't it ridiculous that still happens?
Yeah.
It's like, who cares? Does anyone really care?
Obviously somebody does.
Yeah, and to that person who is like spearheading this movement to keep them from going, I would love to talk to that person and say, I would love to hear your reason why.
I'd love to tell them, pull your head out of your ass.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's something ridiculous that I would say, well, that has nothing to do with anything but you, right? And then just kind of let them know that, because maybe they don't know that. Completely clueless.
Well, obviously they feel like it does have something to do with them. So who knows?
Oh well.
And then there's also our community voices this week. If y'all pick up the paper or go online, Gary Bellamy, he's been an activist in our community for a very long time. It's a really interesting and informative op-ed piece. He talks about years ago, he had a partner who was abusive. It was a family violence, a domestic abuse situation, and how that affected him all these years. And even though he's been out of that situation for so long, he never truly healed. And then, you suffer from PTSD. And it talks about that, and about, yes, you can heal from that. The important thing is, don't put yourself in those situations. If you realize you're in an abusive relationship, find a way out, because there's help. So there's a lot of other things. Arnold Jones, we have Adam Rippon and Rippon, I think. Rippon? I always say Rippon.
That's a great photo.
I know, it is. I love it. There's an interview with Adam. There's an interview with Aquaria from the current season of Drag Race. She's going to be at
I haven't been watching.
I watch it. I cheer for Asia. She's our local person.
Right. I need to go back and watch. I haven't watched the last 2 seasons, and I'm wondering, after it airs, where can one watch it online?
I don't know. I don't know if it's on Hulu. It's on.
It's not, because I've looked on Hulu.
Is it VH1? I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was on Logo for a while, but they've moved it. So.
Right. I've gone to the VH1 little app on my Apple TV, and it has very limited shows on there, but none of RuPaul's that I'm like, I don't
Try
know.
Logo. Is there a Logo channel?
Yeah, I looked there too.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
So-
Because you need to pay attention and
I
watch.
know. I've been wanting to watch RuPaul. Work your magic and get, make it easier for us to
Reruns
watch.
just for Israel,
Yes,
please.
exactly.
But yeah, it's great. Asia's doing really well. I'm very proud of her.
That's what I hear.
And Aquaria is one of the contestants on there. I think she's from New York. She's going to be at Marty's Live. There's a review of a movie called Beast, and another interview with Bianca Del Rio, who has a new book, a new tour, and a new movie out. So there's a lot of things going on. And there's an arts and entertainment calendar, and then in the scenes section, you can go and see what's going on in the bars.
Nice. Lots going
of
on.
stuff. Lots of stuff.
Always lots going on.
What do you got to talk about today?
Oh my God. Well, the first thing that I want to discuss is, it's all over the internet, is the whole Yanni Laurel thing.
Yeah?
So, I don't know if it's just a big...
Yanni, all the way.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just a big joke or not, because when I first saw it, I thought, what's everyone talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And so I clicked it, and I heard Laurel.
Really? I heard Yanni.
Then I re-saw this post, and it said Yanni. And I thought, there are multiple posts that are different.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them say Yanni, some of them say Laurel, just to start a thing, and it worked. But I think we're all hearing the same thing.
I think it's all the same, but they changed the pitch. And apparently the pitch that they play it at, or speed or something, makes it change. Because every time I listen to it online, Yanni.
Is it the same link, though?
I don't know, but it sounded the same.
See, what I'm discovering, and this is what I'm thinking, I might be completely wrong, but let's just say I saw it on your post on Facebook.
Okay.
And then it says Yanni. And then I go to Leo's, and on his, it says Laurel, because I think they're two different links that lead to say, it's not the same one.
You think they're scamming us?
Yes, I think that they're doing multiple versions. 50% of them say this, 50% of them say that, and then they just burst it out there, and then everyone's sharing it thinking it's the same link, but it's completely different. It's random. That's what I think. Now, speaking of that, it brings me back to what, a year ago or 2 years ago, that
The
dress
was white and gold.
white and gold. And what amazes me is people can see it and say, no, it's black and blue, right?
Yeah,
Or
something like
something in blue. And I'm like, no, this is...
What are you looking at? Are you looking at what I'm looking
Right.
at? Yeah.
So what I'm wondering is that the time where you can look at that person and say, have you had what is it called? Like color vision? That too. What is it called? Like when you see different colors, like they don't see green, they see blue.
they're colorblind.
Colorblind.
Yeah.
Have you had a colorblind test?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people may not know that in this case they are wrong because they are colorblind.
Yeah.
Now, it's not their fault that they're wrong with this dress, but I
still wrong.
I have been very fortunate that every eye test that I do, I have very good vision. I have close to perfect vision.
My eyes suck.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And so when I see that, I know, well, from what the eye doctors tell me, that, that my colorization when I see things is correct. So it's like, it's not anything mentally or psychologically anything. It's just you might be colorblind.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be.
So
Do you know, well, the Yanni Laurel thing, I know that as you get older, it's harder for you to hear higher pitches. The range of what you can hear narrows considerably.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've had situations where stores in an area where they don't want a lot of kids hanging out in their store all the time, and they'll play this sound. And it's just this very high pitched, and I hear high pitched squeal all the time because I have tinnitus. But they play this sound, it's very, very high pitched, drives kids crazy because they can hear it. Their hearing range is wider. Older people can't hear it, so they don't mind being in there shopping, but the kids are not going to hang out there because they hear that sound.
Huh.
like a dog whistle or something.
That's
I don't
really
know.
interesting. I wonder if it's true also with certain types of lighting that you put like at a bar or at a club that keeps certain people away.
I would
I've kind
imagine
of heard
so.
that too, yeah.
I would imagine, yeah. I mean, just, you know, different people are like different lighting, like music. I don't like a bar where the music is so loud I can't hear because I don't hear well with a lot of background noise. Like I couldn't carry on a conversation.
Gotcha.
Now, if I'm there to just listen to music and I don't care about talking to anybody, yeah, let's turn it up. But who knows?
Yeah, but I'm still trying to figure out the Yanni Laurel thing, if it's for real or not, because when I hear one or the other, it's super clear. I hear Laurel and then I hear Yanni. I mean,
There's
both
no,
clear. And I think they're different links.
Everything I saw online, every time I listened to online, it was Yanni. And I guess, I don't know if it was yesterday, had to be yesterday because I wasn't watching the news this morning. Channel 4, they had some expert, some sound expert professor coming in talking about it. And that person never really actually came up with an answer. It was kind of like, la, 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 talking around.
Well, even
but
when
they played it, and all I could hear was Laurel.
Was Laurel, yeah. And when they say, oh, well, when you slow down the pitch and everything, I watch them slow it down, and it's still the same word, slow. I mean, because I'm an editor, so I'm always slowing things down and speeding things up. A lot of it is dialogue, screams, all kinds of stuff, and I think, I'm not buying this. I'm not buying the Laurel Yanni thing. I'm really not. I think we're all hearing the same thing. The only thing that confuses me is if you're watching a show, a TV show, and half of the panelists hear one thing and they don't. I don't know if they're in on it or if they're really listening. I don't know.
Gaslighting us over Yanni Laurel.
Yeah.
Now, have you seen it printed out? Now there's a thing going around where they've written, and it just depends on which way you tilt your head to look at it. One way it looks like Yanni, and one way it looks like Laurel.
You're joking.
No, I'm serious.
And you see them both?
Yeah. If you do this, you see one thing, and you do this, you see another thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Like those hologram things. It's kind of like that.
Now, see, I love all those, like the brain games that you see, or the
me too.
colorization things, like little, what do they call, like illusions, like visual illusions. I love all of those. They blow me away.
Yeah, do you see a vase or do you see two faces? Kinds of,
Well, no, there's one that's, it's like a circle, well, not a circle, an oval. And it has a piece of paper going down the middle. And this part of it up here is light gray, and down here is dark gray.
Okay.
And they say, what do you see? And it's like, and I was watching it, and I'm like, yeah, light gray and dark gray. And they said, did you know that that's the same color? There's no change. And I was like, no, there's not. And they said, watch slowly. And they took out the piece of paper in the middle, slowly, and it's the same color.
That's the weirdest thing.
And I thought,
I've seen
wait a minute. So those things freak me out in a great way that it's amazing. It makes you think. So maybe this Yanni thing is that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Pitch. Instead of speed, maybe it's pitch.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm not a sound engineer. I don't know.
I hardly am either, but yeah, I always question everything. It's like I'm not gonna fall for it yet. I need to do more research and then base my decision on that.
I do that unless I feel lazy, and then whatever. I don't care. I ain't got time. I'd rather have a cup of coffee.
Right, exactly.
But
oh my gosh.
What else is going on? Tell me what else.
Well, when I walked in and you asked me how I was doing, I was like, I'm just doing okay, because I need advice from all of our viewers and from yourself as well.
I'll give you some advice.
Okay.
I make shit up all the time.
Good. I could really use it. I have a very good friend, and this just happened right before the show. I have a very good friend who is dating someone. He's gay. He's been dating someone for a little over a year and a half maybe. Well, a few months ago, I would say 6 to 8 months ago maybe, they called it quits.
Okay.
Because they were just miserable. Now, of course, the story I hear is from my friend. I really don't speak to the person that not that I don't speak to him. I'm not close to the other person, yes.
Yeah.
They called it quits. he's getting his own, my friend is getting his own place now and everything, and so, he's saving up money to get his apartment, and then he says, oh, well, the ex-boyfriend just wants to hang out, and so I did, and I'm like, you shouldn't hang out with him, you need a clean break, he's not feeling it for you as strongly as you are for him, so he's okay with nonchalantly just, hey, let's just hang out as friends, and although you say, yes, I can do it, you're not, you're still in love, so just know that. So then that happens.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're engaged. Then a month or two later, they've broken up completely again, right?
Are they lesbians?
Good question.
Okay.
Maybe. So then here, the latest thing is now they're back together.
Okay.
And my friend has invited me to their engagement party because they're having another one. Because that one never went through because they broke up.
Okay.
And I said, I appreciate you asking me to go. The only way that I'll do it is on one condition. I want to talk to the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Because I love you. I feel in many ways I'm like your dad.
Yeah.
And I want to know what's in his head. I just want to talk to him.
So this is a friend who is younger than you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's like 22.
A baby. Okay.
A baby, yes. And I said, I want to talk to him. And he says, okay. I said, because I'm not the kind of person that can, if I'm invited to this engagement party, I'm just going to sweep everything under the rug. Oh, everything is wonderful. How are you? No. No, because that manifests into something uglier when you just suppress it.
Yeah. I
like talking about everything. So I said to him, so ask him if he'll talk to me. You don't even have to be there. Just me and him. I just want to talk to him. Because I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, you want your friend to be happy.
Exactly. So I saw my friend today and I said, hey, so what happened? And he said, he doesn't want to meet with you. And I said, okay, that's fine. So I said, well, I want to meet with him before, but I don't want to do it at this party if I go to the party, because if I see him, the first thing I'm going to want to do is, hey, let's have a chat. And then it might be a longer chat. Well, my friend said, well, if you're going to be going over there and possibly causing trouble, I said, wait, no.
Troublemaker.
I said, now I feel like I'm being the villain here, and I'm the one that's just trying to smooth things over, so I'm going to just separate myself from everything now. And he said, no, that's not what I meant, that's not what I meant. So I said, well, without this conversation, I would feel uncomfortable going, so I'm not going to go.
I agree with you personally.
So that's my question is, am I handling this right? Should I just go and put on a happy face? How should I handle this?
Well, I think if you have concerns for your friend and you feel like maybe intentionally or not, they're being somehow manipulated or taken advantage of by someone else. And I don't know. I don't feel like fake congratulations and best wishes, and I don't think that's helpful, and I think it would eventually come between you and your friend, personally. So.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in here.
All right, hi, Leo. Leo's here.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Make sure Leo's there so we can see Leo's
Can you see
here.
me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Yeah, I thought I would jump in here, Israel, because you're talking about relationships, and not that I'm, that good at it. I've only been together for 36 years with Tony.
Yes.
But no, I think you need to do I think you have the right thing in mind. I think you need to do what you feel comfortable doing, and regardless about the relationship that you have with these guys. You need to be comfortable in every situation. So if you don't feel comfortable going to that event, then I don't think you should go.
Okay.
I agree. And if you feel like going to that event and putting on a happy face, you don't want to go to an event, engagement party, and be a grumpy old man and mess up the party for everybody and piss off your friend and interrupt your friendship, right? But you, at the same time, you feel like you go and you put on a fake happy face. That's going to cause problems too.
Yeah, and that's something that I can't do. If I were to let you borrow $20, and that was 15 years ago, and I hadn't seen you since then because you moved, and then I see you
got my money,
again,
I'm running.
yeah, and I would see you again. I'm the kind of person that I'm sure you forgot. I'm sure you have other things going on in the last 15 years, but I would say, Tammye, it's so good to see you. Remember those $20? Ha 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 ha. And then when you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
right.
I gotta have it, I would say, no, don't worry about it. I just had to get that off my chest because it's still lingering.
Yeah.
Now, let's be friends again. But I can't just skip over something that's there. You know?
Yeah.
You're right, but at the same time, I think you need to do what you're most comfortable with, without necessarily feeling victimized as well. Well, I'm not going to go because I don't feel like it. I'm going to be treated fairly, or it's going to be comfortable. I mean, there's a balance there that you need to meet.
And I also threw out the option. I said, even though it's not my favorite option, I said, well, what if I show up and he's there, and then I say, hey, can I just talk to you for a couple of minutes? Then my friend said, well, you might have to be okay if he says, well, I need to get back inside with my family. And like ends the conversation, and I'm like, oh no, if that happened, I'm walking. I'm gonna turn into Shanae from Martin and be like, oh no, I don't, and I don't want it to do that, and I don't feel that my request of, hey, ask him if he wants to get together before next Thursday, which is when the party's gonna be, and we'll just talk. What is he so afraid of is what I asked, but then I kind of know is I'll hold a mirror in front of him and ask him tough questions, like a father would when they're asking for his daughter's hand in marriage.
Yeah.
And yes, he might be intimidated. Yes, he might be nervous, and yes, he might be scared, and he better be, because I'm going to make him feel that way.
Yeah,
but that's
you're
what
protecting you're protecting your friend, your family.
Yeah, and he should be okay with that, because that's what happens when you're going to try to marry somebody.
That's true.
That's true. You should be okay with it because you have the best interest in mind of this friend of yours.
Right.
Yeah.
So he should see that and at least understand that's where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Now, is the friend's boyfriend also very young?
Like 27, 28.
And there's an age difference there.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that. Now, obviously, it didn't hold true for Tony and Leo because they were like 15 or something.
18 and 20.
18 to 20. But, I mean, a lot of times people who are that young are just, you're not prepared to be married.
You kind of grew up together. For Tony and I mean, we got together when we was in college, and we kind of grew on the same path. And a lot of times that's a good thing when you start in a relationship with nothing, and you just have each other, and you start building a life and exploring who you are. I mean, Tony was dealing with the fact that he was gay. And dealing with all that, and we were luckily enough to grow in the same path. Some people grow apart, and especially after you come out, dealing with that,
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, it takes time. It takes time and effort.
And so many young people just are not. And I don't mean this in a derogatory way, because you're young and you've got so much to see and learn and do, and you're just not emotionally and mentally prepared to be married.
Well, and some of it too depends on your family of origin. Sometimes that has a lot to do with it, and kids today have grown up with lots of diverse families, more so than I think when I grew up. My parents were together until they died, and Tony's parents the same way.
Yeah,
so we bring into a relationship that kind of family of origin. You find somebody, you fall in love, and that's who you're with the rest of your life.
That's the example that we
so
had.
it's that kind of thing that happens as well. But yeah, today it's very different. Society is different. You have a lot more complicated things out there, like the internet, like email, and like HIV and AIDS, and other things that really. Are a lot more trying.
Because sometimes, before I walked in, I kept thinking that I'm trying to see every side, and I think, should I just say, you know what, it's none of my business, it's your relationship, I should just stay away. If this is what you both want, I'll be happy for you, because that's the other alternative, and, should I see it that way, was, what I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
Just be I guess my advice to you would be to be honest with your friend and not pretend like everything's okay. You just say, I have some reservations, but you are my friend and I love you like family, and I'm going to support you as best I can, and I will be here when you need me to be here for you, as long as you don't feel like you get to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Because you tell a friend or a family member, I'm here when you need me, you know, and then they are only there when they need you. You know, when somebody's your friend, you're there for them, and they are there for you, right?
Mhm.
But just, you know, I have reservations, but I'm not going to try and stand in your way.
Yeah, it's their life. It's their life. And if
Yeah.
you draw a line in the sand, you know, and,
You-
and,
I
and make
would-
them choose, then,
Yeah.
you know, they may not necessarily can see the big picture at that point and may choose wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You don't have to, it's
Yes.
not like, I'm not going to cut off my relationship with you, but just understand, and I'm not going to do something to try and interfere with your relationship, your engagement or marriage. I just have reservations, and I just want you to know that, but I love you, and let's move on from here.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my advice.
Yeah. So all right.
You're angry.
So I'm gonna listen to all that. Excuse me, and I'm gonna
Do the opposite, right?
I'm gonna do just that. You know, I mean, I guess you're sort of confirming that I'm kind of doing the right thing, which is follow how I'm feeling, and I'm still going to love him. I'm still going to be, you know, great friends with him. I'm just, when they're involved and they're having this engagement party for the upteenth time because they keep breaking up and getting back together.
No shade there.
Yeah, I don't want to be there to share in the phoniness, because I mean I'm super confident that they shouldn't be doing it
Yeah.
because of the last year and a half of
Yeah.
back and forth, and each
Yeah.
time the relationship gets shorter and shorter before the breakup, and I'm like, do you not see this?
Yeah.
Some people have to learn their own lessons.
Yeah,
That is true,
I know
too.
I did.
Take our
That
own
is
journey, our own
absolutely true.
path, and, you know, and sometimes that helps define us. You know, maybe the next time he gets in another relationship, it will be different.
Yeah, possibly.
You know, it would be great if we could all learn from other people's mistakes, but
Yeah.
you know, we just
Yeah.
no.
All you can do is tell them whether
This
they do
is-
it or
yeah.
not. Yeah.
This is my
Different
advice.
story.
Yeah. So, well, this has been a stressful day for me, because I mean I woke up this morning to news out of Santa Fe, Texas, the shooting down there. This is, you know, kind of a downer to, you know, we'll talk about something else before we stop, but I want to say that, I want to point out the fact that there are at least 9 people dead,
Oh wow.
maybe 10, I don't know what the latest number was. Most of these people are children, and they're high school kids, but to me that's children, you know? And as a parent, it's horrifying to me. And so that I wanted to say that because I want anybody who hasn't already voted in the runoff elections, pay attention to who's running, still in the running for what office. Pay attention to where they stand on things like this. This was a high school kid. He was 17 years old from what I read, and he walked in with an AR-15, an assault style rifle. He had a handgun, I believe he also had a shotgun, and he had explosive devices. And he walked in and just started killing people. And we've got to, I don't know what we have to do. I don't know what we do to fix that. You know, we can't just ban guns. That's not reasonable. That's not going to work. But we've got to do something. You know, we've got to do something to keep those kinds of weapons.
Do they know why he did it?
I don't know.
They don't know.
Some people, I read some places where, he was bullied and he went after the people who were bullying. I read somewhere else that, you know what, he was one of those kids that had all of the neo-Nazi stuff, and you go on his Facebook and he had all of the Nazi symbols, and he was wearing a shirt that said "Born to Kill." You know,
Yeah,
so
that's someone
why?
who needs attention for whatever reason. They have deeper issues going on.
There's just there's so much hatred going on right now. We got to do something.
Well, you know, and speaking of that, and just kind of to change the subject just for a second, is here in the last, I would say 48 to 72 hours, there have been so many multiple posts of racial slurs being given, like the one, and
the
of course I
lawyer?
love the memes that follow, but no, the one woman at the park, and she's got her sunglasses.
Yes.
So many memes that just crack me up when I'm watching it, but that really happened. And then the one guy, who was yelling to the
restaurant
to the
because
women.
they spoke Spanish.
They spoke Spanish.
The lawyer.
You know, there's this like trend going on.
The white woman who called the cops on the black woman because she fell asleep in the dorm.
That's
common
right.
room.
Okay, I do have something to say about that.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, we'll just call it the white girl and the black girl to make it easy. When the white girl called, and yes, it was completely inappropriate. When I saw the footage of the black girl holding her phone and she's getting footage of the cops to see what they're going to do, and they say, excuse me, hey, ma'am, can you please give us identification or just prove that you live here? She responded with, well, here, let me open the door for you. I have a key. And they're like, well, no, we need identification. Why do I have to prove? That is the frickin' millennial stupidity. Just do what the frickin' cop tells you to do. Stop being sassy, bitch. I would have smacked you right there and said that you deserve it. Do what the cops tell you. That could have been a key that the person that lived in that dormitory gave you.
That's
That
right.
proves nothing. So stop being a sassy little bleep and just do what the cops did. Now, after she said that, I think she did just do what they told her. But stop it. Because then it makes me not like you as much anymore because you're being a stupid young punk. Just do what the cops tell you, and then we will respect you more.
She wasn't actually a young person. They were both older students.
Mm-hmm.
They were not like.
But they were like in their early 20s, weren't they?
I don't
No?
believe so. I may be wrong about that. I might say that.
Because
But
in the
you know,
video
I kinda-
interviews, they do look...
This is where we say the views expressed in this
I mean, don't you
conversation
agree with that?
Agreed, absolutely.
are not necessarily the views of Dallas Voice. Independent, personal viewpoints. I do agree to a point where don't argue, just do it. But at the same time, I'm sitting in my own dorm room and I drifted off while I was studying, and some woman has called the cops because I fell asleep, and then you go, no. And in that situation, the cops did go and get on the white woman.
Mm-hmm.
For
Yes.
you are unreasonable, and this is
Right.
it's ridiculous. And then the lawyer, and then all the other.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
So I don't know what it is here lately
Meanness.
that's going on. Yeah.
Hatred. It's the Trump effect.
It is trickling down. I can see that.
It is
It's,
absolutely the Trump effect. People think this racist, misogynistic, asshole, orange monster was arrested. Was elected. Needs to be arrested, but was elected president.
yeah.
And that means everybody agrees with me and all my racism and misogyny and hatred.
That's just like what I said earlier, about relationships. It's a family of origin thing, and a lot of things come from the top down.
That's true too.
And that's what you're saying is
That's
that the
true, too.
president who's at the top, right? That's what's being reflected. That's what's being,
People think they have free reign to be hateful
Yeah.
because of him.
Yeah.
And,
And
the
it's
example he sets.
it's sad but true. But to be prejudiced or racist against someone is not so bad right now. It's semi-accepted.
Oh,
right
in
now.
many circles,
It's
it's
sad.
absolutely
not our
accepted.
circle.
No,
Not ours.
Not here. Don't come in here with
Not
that
ours.
crap.
But I think that's what's giving them the guts to do it. Is
It
because
is. I
it's
agree
okay
with you
right now
completely.
because what's happening, up there.
We won, and our opinions are okay.
Right.
For a long time, people felt like if they felt those things, if they were hateful and racist and all those things, it wasn't okay to say it out loud. Now they think it is.
Mm-hmm.
We just have to do something to make sure they know it's not, and that this kind of bigotry and hatred and just assholeness is not going to be tolerated
Right.
anymore.
Can
okay?
she say assholeness? on
Sure.
this?
She's an editor.
One more thing I want to say before we're getting close to the end of the hour here, and I want to remind everyone, in the past, a couple of weeks, we've had 2 trans women one that we know was murdered, and one whose body, as far as I know, still has not been identified.
Right.
They have arrested someone in connection with the murder of the first young woman, Carla Pavone, Flores Pavone. They have arrested someone. He is in custody. They don't think that it was a hate crime. It was not. They met up on a chat app, a dating app or something, and he killed her because he was robbing her. He didn't kill her because he hated her for being transgender. I believe that's what the police say or think or believe. It wasn't. He wasn't attacking her because She was transgender. He just attacked her because he's
She
an
was a
asshole who
target.
wanted to rob her.
Yeah.
Right? But
Well,
we do.
would one be a federal crime and the other one be not a federal crime?
No, I don't know. I mean, it's a difference between murder and capital murder. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know state versus federal, but I mean, they could charge him with capital murder because he killed her in the commission of a crime, in the commission of a robbery. That's capital murder. You kill somebody while you're committing another crime, then that makes it a capital offense.
Yeah. And it's
we
good
don't
for us
have-
to know that statistic too, to know if there are men out there that are still just preying on trans
And there
women.
are.
Yeah.
There definitely are. But there was there is another trans woman who is dead. At this point we don't know. It's called the cause or manner of death. Cause would be blunt force trauma, and manner would be homicide or something like that. But we don't know the cause or the manner of death. At this point, they found the body in White Rock Creek, and they have not yet identified this person. There is a sketch. You can find the sketch on our website. You can find the sketch in our paper this week. Please go look. This woman deserves closure. We deserve to know. She deserves for us to know what happened and to do something about it. We're waiting on a medical examiner to finish their tests, their autopsies, to let us know what happened. And until that time, we can't even say that that it's a homicide. It could have been some sort of accident, but we're just waiting. But regardless of how or why she died, she deserves people to know who she is. And that to me is one of the saddest parts. No one has reported someone missing that could be this person. So please go online, go pick up the paper this week, look at that sketch, and please let's try and find out who this woman is and find her family and her friends, so there can be some sort of closure there.
Right.
So y'all got anything else you want to say before we go today?
Nothing really. This Sunday, if you're not doing anything, if y'all aren't doing anything, my Rack Focus film competition, this round is coming to a close as far as the deadline to turn in your films. So all day Sunday, what happens on deadline day for me is I sit in front of my computer and wait for people to show up to the office and turn in their projects because their deadline is at midnight. I've been so bored every single day because I just have to sit there because sometimes I get them digitally on the computer too. So what I've started doing for the last 2 rounds is having like a little pizza party. So it's like, come and be bored with me or keep me company. And so what we're doing now is we are going to have 2 projectors in my studio projecting old school Nintendo video games.
Cool.
So everyone can come over and play video games on the giant screen, and having music, I'll have snacks, I'll have drinks, I'm going to be ordering pizza around dinner time and just making it a party until midnight when finally it's closed and I'm like, okay, these movies have made the competition. So that's going to be fun.
So free pizza at Israel.
Yeah,
Games,
exactly.
games.
And games, video games.
Well, I'm going to be at Scarborough Fair tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
My wife will be dancing out there, so y'all come see her, cheer her on. And then I think Sunday we have to actually celebrate the birthdays. So.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. What about you?
And I'll be at Gay Bingo
Tomorrow night.
Yep,
right?
tomorrow night's Gay
Right.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And that's going to be fun.
Yeah, and again, tomorrow night, Gay Bingo at S4. It's
S4.
Marvel versus DC superhero, I guess. AIDS Outreach Center, Evening of Hope at the Hilton in Fort Worth.
Tonight is Red Dragon. For
I said that was tomorrow.
the
It's
Red
tonight.
Party. That's tonight, that's right.
At the Empire Room, right down the street here, 1225
Yep.
Riverside.
And I've seen some of the silent and live raffle items, and they are great. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you can make it out there tonight, there's tickets available, and you can get tickets at the door or online. There's a link in our paper, and it'll be fun. And it benefits Legacy Counseling.
Yes, that's right. I knew it benefited someone. I couldn't remember who. And one more thing, tomorrow night, Silver Pride Prom.
Oh, that's right.
at the library downtown. So if you
We could all go. We have a little sword. A little bit, just a little bit. Although we died hours in.
This is L'Oreal 5A.
Yeah.
And I share a bottle. That's everybody knows, right?
mine is just totally normal, natural.
Yeah.
So, but thank y'all for watching today.
Thank
We
you so much.
appreciate it.
Yay.
And remember, next Friday, 4:00 ish, we'll be here. Israel will be here, I hope.
I'll
I
be
will
here.
be here.
I
We
may
got
stop
Leo.
in, right?
Leo's
Yeah.
here, so we hope to see you back then. And hey, you know what? Watch our Dallas Voice Facebook during the week, because we will be doing live video updates.
Like we did this week.
We did a couple this week.
Ooh.
When they made the announcement that they had arrested someone in Carla Pavon's murder. So
Nice.
we're working on that. We're gonna have more video. We're gonna really be improving all of our content.
Yeah.
So thanks again, y'all. We appreciate you coming and spending the day with us. So, or an hour of the day with us.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Have a good weekend.